Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Dark Magician deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck that I've included all sorts of spicy tech cards in this build for you guys. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can come part of our notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go and get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 2 copies of the Ultimate Wizard in terms of attack and defense, the Dark Magician. This card is an extremely nostalgic boss monster and a really awesome 2 of in the build to help you go into all of your different awesome fusion plays, while also being able to control the board. We then play a single copy of the Red Eyes Black Dragon. Red Eyes Black Dragon is an extremely important combo piece in the deck to be able to help you go in for a bunch of different plays in this build. We then play a single copy of the Dark Magician Girl. Dark Magician Girl is awesome as a 1-of in the build, especially combined with cards like Soul Servant and your copy of the Dark Magicians. This card is just an awesome 1-of. We then play a single copy of Timaeus the United Dragon. Timaeus is great as a 1-of in the build because this card is basically a walking polymerization. As you send a spellcaster monster or a spell trap card that mentions Dark Magician from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard to be able to special summon this card from your hand. And during your main phase, you can actually fusion summon a fusion monster from your action using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a spellcaster monster, which is a great effect to help us going for our fusion plays. We then play 3 copies of Magician Souls. Magician Souls is definitely a 3-of in the build because this card is an awesome effect, and if it's on your side of the field, you can actually send it to 2 spells and traps from your hand or field to the graveyard to draw that many cards, and if this card's in your hand, you can actually ascend a level 6 or higher spellcaster monster from your deck to the graveyard to activate one of these effects. Either special summon this card or send this card to the graveyard and then special summon a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard, which is great because it actually sets up to help you summon out Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl just in case you need to. We then play a single copy of Magician's Rod. Magician's Rod is great as a 1-of in the build, but you really only need a single copy of this card because it is searchable off of Illusion of Chaos. But this card is a great effect that when it's normal summon, you actually get to add a spell or trap card from your deck to your hand that specifically lists Dark Magician in its text, which is an awesome effect to grab the exact card that you need. We then play 3 copies of Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos is great as a 3-of in the build because this card is an awesome ability as you can reveal this card in your hand to add a Dark Magician or a non-ritual monster that mentions it from your deck to your hand, then place a card from your hand on the top of the deck, which is a great effect to help you grab cards like Magician's Rod or Magician's Soul directly from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Primite Dragon. Primite Dragon is definitely a 3-of in the build, one of the key combo pieces in this deck. This card is an awesome ability that if this card is normal summon, you can actually set a Primite spell or trap from your deck to your side of the field, which is great to help you get to your copy of Lordly Load, while also being able to use this card for the Blue Eyes Link monster, which actually comes up in this build. We then play 3 copies of the Bestial Lubellion. Bestial Lubellion is really good as a 3-of in the build because this card has some really insane effects, and it cannot be normal summon or set. It must first be special summoned from your hand to your graveyard by tributing a level 6 or higher Dark Dragon monster. Also, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to add a Bestial monster from your deck to your hand, and during the main phase, when this card's on your side of the field, you can actually place a branded continuous spell trap from your deck face up on your side of the field, which is great to help us get to our copy of Branded Regain. We then play a single copy of Magnemite. Magnemite is great in this build as a 1-of because this card has the ability to actually target a light or dark monster in either player's graveyard and banish it if you do special summon this card from your hand, and it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster, which all of our level 6 Bestials actually share that awesome common effect. This card also has a super unique ability that if this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect that during the end phase of this turn, you can actually get a dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, which is a great effect to grab the exact card that you need. We then play a single copy of Druid's Worm. Druid's Worm is great as a one-of in the build to help you just basically spot remove cards off the field. We play a single copy of Baldrake. Baldrake is great in this deck, and I feel like 3 names is really all you need in this build to be able to use, but Baldrake is great in the deck to be able to use just to basically help you spot remove cards off the field. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is definitely a 3-of build to basically just stop your opponent from touching the deck. We then also play 2 copies of Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is great in this build to help you stop your opponent's monster effects. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Branded Regain. Branded Regain is really good as a 1-of in the build because this card has the ability that if a light or dark monster is banished, you can actually target one of those monsters and place that monster on the bottom of the deck and do draw a card. Also, once per turn, if your opponent normally special summons a monster, you can actually target a bestial monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is an awesome effect to help you bring back your bestials to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Mausoleum of White. Now this card is an extremely spicy tech card in the build because you can actually play Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician cards in this deck, which is insane, so definitely give this video a like. But this card is really good because it has the effect that during your main phase, you can actually normal summon a level 1 Light Tuner in addition to your normal summoner set, meaning you can actually summon out Effect Veiler in addition to your normal summoner set, making it an interesting combo piece. And the main effect we're looking at on this card is the ability that once per turn, you can actually target a face-up monster that you control, send a normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, the targeted monster gains attack and defense equal to the level of that monster sent to the graveyard times 100 until the end of the turn, which is a great effect to help you get Dark Magician from your deck to the graveyard, which is such a powerful effect. Basically, you just use this card as a foolish burial for the Dark Magician. We then play a single copy of Magician's Salvation. Magician's Salvation is great as a 1-of in the deck to help you basically get your copy of Eternal Soul, and when this card is activated, you can actually set an Eternal Soul directly from your deck. If you normally special summon a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, you can actually target one of those monsters and then special summon a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard with a different name than that monster, helping you bring out the other one to your side of the field if you summon out a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl. We then play a single copy of Secrets of Dark Magic. Secrets of Dark Magic is great as a 1-of in the build to basically just use this card to go in for our fusion plays. We then play a single copy of Magicalized Fusion. Magicalized Fusion is a very interesting tech card because I commonly find myself with this deck having a Dark Magician and a Red Eyes Black Dragon in the graveyard, so I figured why not play this card as a 1-of in the deck so that you could go into your copy of Dragoon extremely easily in this build, and it's so easy to pull off in this deck, especially with cards like Mausoleum, which is actually why I play 2 copies of Dark Magician in this build, is because of Magicalized Fusion, so we can go in for our copy of Dragoon extremely easily. We then play a single copy of Dark Magical Circle. Dark Magical Circle is a great card in the deck because it helps you banish cards off the field, and it's also a really good consistency card because when this card is activated, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then you can reveal a Dark Magician or a Spell or Trap card that is a specific list Dark Magician among them and add it to your hand, and also if a Dark Magician is normal or special summoned to your field, you can actually target a card on your opponent controls and banish it, which is a great effect to help you just spot remove cards off the field. But this card is great in the deck as a 1-of to be able to use, just basically look at the top 3, grab a card, and then put the other 2 back, which is really good. We play a single copy of Drill Beam. Drill Beam is great in the deck as a 1-of, just to help you spot remove cards off the field, and it's an awesome card in the deck to be able to use with your Primite engine, to be able to reveal a Primite card or a normal monster in your hand, except another copy of this card, or if you control a normal monster or level 5 or higher Primite monster, except a token, you can activate this card without revealing a card, which we usually do, then target a face-up card on the field and negate its effects, and if you do, banish it. Also, during your main phase, if you control a Primite monster, you can actually set this card from your graveyard, which is a great effect because your copy of your Primite Dragon comes back to your hand extremely easily from the graveyard, so you can use this card over and over again. We then play 3 copies of Lordly Load. Lordly Load is insane in this deck as a 3-of, because when this card is activated, you can actually add a Primate card from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, and also helps you special summon your normal monsters to your side of the field, which is insane for you to be able to do. This card is actually broken, and really good to be able to grab off your copy of your Primate Dragon, but this card is an awesome combo piece in the deck to help you bring out your different monsters to your side of the field, so you can basically link climb, as we usually end on a copy of Seals in this deck, which is insane to be able to do, especially when you bring out your Blue Eyes link, and then use this card to be able to help you bring out to your side of the field Red Eyes Black Dragon, use Red Eyes and Blue Eyes to be able to make a Hieratic Seal on your side of the field, which is so cool. We then played 3 copies of Soul Servant. Soul Servant is definitely a 3-of in the build, and so cool to be able to play in the deck. You actually get to place a card on top of your deck from your hand, deck, or graveyard that is a Dark Magician or specifically Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl in its text, except a copy of Soul Servant, which is great to grab the exact card you need, like a copy of Magician's Salvation, to be able to put on top of your deck. Because this card has the ability, you can actually banish this card in the graveyard and then draw cards equal to the number of Dark Magician and or Dark Magician Girls with different names on the field or in the graveyard. So you can basically draw 1 to 2 cards of this card's effect in this deck, which is awesome. So this card is definitely a 3-of in the build, which we're usually just drawing 1 off this card, but it's really good in the build, especially with cards like Mausoleum, so that we can actually send our Dark Magician to the graveyard and use this to basically grab the exact card that we need. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing a few, starting off with a single copy of Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul is definitely a 1-of in the build to help you bring back your Dark Magicians to your side of the field, especially with your copy of Mausoleum being able to send it to the graveyard. With the ability, every Dark Magician in your monster zone is unaffected by your opponent's card effects, and also, if this face-up card leaves the field, destroy all monsters that you control. And also, once per turn, you can special summon a Dark Magician from your hand to your graveyard, which is an awesome ability to instantly bring out the Dark Magician to your side of the field. We then played 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is really good as a 3-of in the build, and just an awesome card to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. It's a really good card in this build, and just such a powerful hand trap in this format. So, that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. This card is an awesome 2-of in the build, and you can easily summon 2 in this deck. So we have like 3 different ways to be able to fusion summon this card, with Timaeus, Magical Eyes Fusion, and Secrets of Dark Magic. So we can easily make a second one in this build, and it's just really good to be able to play the second one, just in case your opponent's playing Castor or Unicorn and needs to get rid of one out of your extra deck, because this card is our main boss monster in the build. It's really easy to summon this deck, and cannot be destroyed by card effects, and cannot be targeted. It's a walking negate for discarding a card, and for every vanilla monster we put into it, we can actually pop one of our opponent's monsters, and then we do burn damage to them, which is really, really good. We made a single copy of Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight is great because it actually protects our face-up spells and traps that we control from card effects, which is a really powerful ability, and also becomes Dark Magician while it's on our side of the field or in the graveyard. We made a single copy of the Dark Magicians. Dark Magicians is really good as a 1-of in the build to basically just help us draw cards, and it's a really good combo piece in this deck. With my single copy of Typhon. Typhon is really good in this deck as a 1-of to basically just use this card just in case we're going second and we need it to help us bounce cards off the field, plus it's a skill drain for 3,000 or higher attack point monsters. With my single copy of Access Code. Access Code's great because this card can pop multiple cards on the field and comes out absolutely massive. My single copy of Blacklist Your Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. This card is really good as a 1-of in the build because if you actually use a level 7 or higher monster as a material, your opponent cannot target him with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects either, which is really difficult for your opponent to deal with usually. And also, if it destroys a monster by battle, you can activate one of these effects to either make this card gain 1,500 attack, and make a second attack during the following battle phase, or you non-targeting banish card off the field, which is really, really good. And definitely give us a like on this video, guys, because we have Blackluster Soldier, Dark Magician cards, Red Eyes cards, and Blue Eyes cards all in the same Dark Magician deck, which is insane. And my single copy of Selene. Selene is great in this deck as a 1-up to basically help us climb into our copy of Access Code extremely easily in this build by bringing back one of our spellcasters to our side of the field. My single copy of the Dark Charmer. Dark Charmer is great in this deck as a 1-up to basically just use this card to bring back a monster to our side of the field so we can link climb. Play a single copy of SP. SP is really good in the deck as a 1-up to basically use this card as a double interruption. Play a single copy of IP. IP is awesome in the deck to be able to make, so you can make your copy of SP during the opponent's turn. And like a single copy of Hieratic Seal. Hieratic Seal is crazy powerful in this deck, and it's very easy to actually end on this card, and it's just such a powerful card to be able to play in this deck to help you bring out cards like your Magnamut to your side of the field, so you can basically just use this card as a interruption against your opponent, so you can bring out Magnamut and then search out an additional dragon, which is really cool. We play a single copy of Artemis. Artemis works really well with your copy of Magician's Rod. We play a single copy of Imduk, just in case we need to turn our copy of Dark Magician into an effect monster, because this card can use normal monsters as material, and it's really good in the deck to be able to use, so you can bring back your copy of Dark Magician with Eternal Soul. We play a single copy of Spirit with Eyes of Blue, and there is your Blue Eyes Link monster. This card is great because when it's Link Summon, you can actually search Mausoleum from your deck to your hand, then activate Mausoleum, send Dark Magician from your deck to the graveyard, and then once you do, you can activate your copy of your Primite, Lordly Load, bring out your copy of Red Eyes, and then basically Link Summon into your copy of Hieratic Seals, which is awesome because you can basically do that off of one copy of the Primite Dragon, which is actually insane, and it's so cool to be able to do. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have not played a Dark Magician deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try. It's a really fun deck, and I really like all the spicy tech cards I include in this build for you guys, because it's really cool to actually play Dark Magician, Red Eyes, Blue Eyes cards, and even a Blackluster Soldier card all in one deck. It's just so nostalgic. So, that's going to do this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come for our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.